Let's go. Welcome to Jets Uncovered, part of the Undroppables Network. Honest Abe, Midnight Mike, Tommy, Jets in the house. Now you can hear us, see us, wherever you are. We greatly appreciate
We can't see you.
Can't see me.
Avatar man.
I am Aaron Rodgers. I am recovering in my dark cave for all you non-believers. In my dark cave down out here and somewhere that you'll never, ever find out. On this wonderful Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, whenever you are listening, watching, thank you greatly for being part of us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, favorite, comment, do everything that you can possibly do to support us. We greatly appreciate it. Thumbs up, 5 stars, 8 stars, 50 stars, whatever it is. Thank you so much. Don't forget, check us out on YouTube at youtube.com/the Undroppables. Don't forget to check out Mike, youtube.com/Midnight Mike Show, MIDNITE. Tommy with the FF League winners. So much good stuff that you two gentlemen do on a weekly basis. I'm just an idiot that sits here in front of a microphone and just has so much fun talking to you guys. Mike, welcome. Looking forward to your Tuesday show that members only, not only fans, but members only can be watching.
Just members only, and they're so it's basically every Saturday night and Tuesday night. Tuesday night is 10 p.m. Saturday night is 9 p.m. You can always watch the live shows live for free on YouTube, Midnight Mike Show. But the Tuesday show by the next morning or whatever, it drops to like a members only thing for the members of the page, and I'm excited to be here for this first draft.
Yes. Tommy, before we get into tonight's show sheet-ish of what our plans are, how's everything going on, brother?
It's going good, man. Working on this draft kit for the league winners, 150 prospects plus offense and defense. I'm doing a lot of film analysis, a lot of analytical notes on there as well. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be dropping April 15th.
Such a nerd. Thank God for people like you out there, because I don't got time to do any of that kind of stuff. Like, I'm just like, let me see the work, and then I'm just going to pretend and talk about like I actually know what I'm talking about. So Tommy, thank you for doing those behind the scenes work that people don't appreciate. Some of us actually do appreciate it. So thank you, sir.
Hey, it's a dirty job. Someone has to do it.
Yeah, everyone's very happy. That's still playing. I mean, they're still going.
Wait, before we move on, I want to point out to everyone, now we are on YouTube, like you said, at The Undroppables. So go down, hit the like button. That's how more people will see us in the algorithm. If you're watching this, hit that like button and leave a comment down below, because we want to know by the end of this draft who you think drafted the best, who drafted the best, first round Jets. We'll get into that. And if you are watching on YouTube, you can see that we have it set up to do numerous drafts, and each of us will get a 1, each of us will get a 2, each of us will get a 3, and maybe some trades could happen, who knows. But I just want to make sure everyone hits that like button on The Undroppables and subscribe to The Undroppables.
Subscribe.
I wish I used to have a ding button, like ding ding, and I had to overplay it with something else. But yes, on tonight's show we are starting off. See, there you go.
That was me.
There you go. I thought that was Tommy making noises with his mouth again.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Like the guy from Police Academy.
Yes. Awesome. That's just spectacular. He's actually sitting here with me, and he's just going like, that was actually a human being making those sounds. Absolutely. Tommy, shut up. We are starting a whole new segment. It's going to be it towards the back half of this show, and we're going to be doing it the way I look at it every week for the next 6 weeks or so. We'll start with the offense. We're going to move to the defense, and we're going to be drafting. It's draft season. We're all in draft mood, and we're going to be drafting different positions each week. This week, with the draft right around the corner, we are going to be drafting our favorite first round picks from the New York Jets. Like Mike alluded to, this week, randomized it. Every week it's going to go in alphabetical order. It's going to be me, myself, and then Mike, and then Tommy. But I'm going to have the first pick this week, followed by Mike, followed by Tommy. Next week, Mike gets the first pick, followed by Tommy, followed by myself, and so on and so forth. It's pretty simple. If you can't count up to 3 to follow along with us, you probably got some bigger issues, and reach out. We'll help you. We'll help you with those issues as well. I know a guy that knows a guy.
How'd they even sign on to the podcast or get onto YouTube if they can't count up to 3?
Hey,
Someone did it for
That would be a big problem.
Big problems. Big problems. But we're not going to be snaking this draft. It's going to be if you have the first pick of the first round, you're also going to have the first pick of the second round. And trades are going to be a major factor into this draft. Speaking of trades, before we get into our draft for tonight, we must discuss the big trade that happened with the New York Jets this week. And that, of course, is trading a conditional third round pick to the Philadelphia Eagles for Haason Reddick. Tommy, I want to start with you. Obviously, I think we're on board. Awesome, great, A+ grade for the trade from Joe D. How much are you loving it, and what's Haason Reddick going to bring to this defense?
I honestly love it. You know, it stinks seeing Bryce Huff gone, but I think they did a great job replacing it with Reddick. I think he's already an established pass rusher. He's like a top 5 guy in the past 4 years for sacks, if I remember correctly. And not only that, he can play the field for about 70% of the time, whereas Huff was only playing about a quarter of the time. And that right there, that versatility is huge for the Jets. You know, he's not a perfect run stopper, but he can get the job done. And I think he also makes that defense better as a leader too. You got to remember, he's an older guy. He has experience. He's on a winning team like the Eagles. And so he can bring that experience to a defense that also needs a little bit of boost of their own, morale wise. So I'm really liking the trade right now.
Mike, do you think he's going to take Will McDonald under his wing and turn him into that next elite pass rusher for the Jets?
I hope he does. And I'll tell you right now that I saw people being like, well, I guess Will McDonald's a bust because they're bringing in Reddick. And I don't want it to be like that. I want Will McDonald out there as much as he could be out there this year, because this is only a 1-year deal. Now it could turn into more, just like some of these other players. But as of right now, Will McDonald is our guy that we're going to have over the next few years. And I want him out there learning under Jermaine Johnson and Haason Reddick and just watching what they do. And he's good himself. So I just don't want Will McDonald pushed to the side. But I think that this was a great thing to replace the loss of Bryce Huff. And yeah, he's basically Huff. Like I know other people have said this too. He's basically just like Huff, but just a little older. And it's only a 1-year deal, right? I'm right. I may be getting confused with all the 1-year deals, but I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
He only's got 1 year left on his contract. Who knows what's going to happen after the fact? But if you look at it, it's really just a trade straight up Bryce Huff for Haason Reddick, because even the draft pick that we're giving the Eagles, which mind you, isn't this year, it's not next year, it's in 2026. We're going to get that draft pick given back to us compensatory for Bryce Huff. So yeah, it might not be a 3, maybe it's a 4. So you move down 20, 30 slots to get Haason Reddick here. I mean, if that's not Joe D doing the ultimate Joe D kind of Sam Darnold kind of trade that we've seen and loved from Joe Douglas, honestly, Mike, if I had time earlier today, I really wanted to, I planned this and didn't have time to do so. I wanted to go back to your old shows and watch how much you complained about Joe Douglas the first couple of days of free agency. And I wanted to have that clipped ready to go. I'm not talented enough and I don't have the time to do so, but man, did I want to play that.
You don't need to clip it. I'll admit it. Leading into last season, I had full confidence in Joe Douglas, but the way he failed so miserably during the way he handled the quarterback room this year, when we had a chance, we could have gone to the playoffs and Rodgers probably could have been in there if we made the playoffs. That was an epic failure. And all this did was get him kind of back to me, kind of trusting him. And once again, he did his job. It's now on Robert Saleh.
Maybe he's just a great off-season general manager, but in-season general manager, where still a lot of moves have to be made. Maybe that's where he struggles. Maybe he gets so infused into the games and what's going on, he forgets that there's that whole other aspect of being a GM.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. His best moves are as trades. You know, I don't think there's been a trade that he's really lost yet. You know what I mean?
Oh, definitely not.
So I want to ask you guys this question, but I kind of want to hold off on it because it does relate to a first-round pick Joe Douglas made. Whatever the hell with it, I'll put it out there. Is Jamal Adams on any of your guys' list based off of, he was pretty good with the Jets, but then the value that he brought back in because of that Joe Douglas trade, really getting us AVT and Garrett Wilson. Does Jamal Adams now put him in that echelon of guys that might be drafted tonight?
I don't know if I want to give that away, but I'll be happy to say, hell no, I'm not drafting Jamal Adams. Like, he can go screw himself. I have a draft list right here in front of me, and I have because I thought we were drafting 5 people. It turns out we're doing 4 rounds. And so I put 15 on here, just so that I could get a team or a group that I wanted, no matter what. Because if we were drafting 5, that'd be 5 apiece. So I have 15. So there's no way, that I wouldn't get some of the guys I want. And out of the 15 here, Jamal Adams is not written down. So
I have 15 as well, and Jamal Adams was not up for consideration.
I also have 15, and Jamal Adams did not make my list.
Congratulations, Jamal Adams. You are
no, that's crazy. I'll be honest. No, but I'll be honest. Like, it's crazy that we didn't even talk about that, and we all made sure we had 15. Just to be sure that we could get some people that we wanted.
You got to be prepped. Before we get to that draft, one other piece of news that kind of went under the radar, but it's actually a pretty significant piece, is that Justin Hardy today signed with the Cleveland Browns, no longer going to be that special teams ace for the Jets. You have to wonder, he did miss some time in 2023 as Irv Charles. Is he going to step up and be that guy now? Are the Jets going to draft a late round corner that they see potential in being that guy going later on to do that? So again, nothing significant, nothing where you look at Joe Douglas, you go, God damn it, why didn't you make that move? But just something to look at as the season approaches of who's going to take over that spot.
Yeah, I think it's a locker room issue. Well, from what a lot of people don't like is how big of a locker room leader he was, so that the Jets didn't get him. But from my perspective, I kind of like it because, they did give Huff to Philly. And in order to get a comp pick back for that, they have to have a certain amount. They have to have 2 more players sign for a compensatory eligibility. And one of those players was Justin Hardy. So I hate to see him go, but I do like that aspect of, hey, we got 1 down. If one other player signs, perhaps Becton, by the 28th, then we also get that comp pick for Huff. So I do like that.
Speaking of guys that are absolutely nowhere near my list.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Becton's not even near my list.
No, not even.
I am truthfully. No, I am shocked that he hasn't been picked up officially by a team yet. He's good enough to be a depth guy, in my opinion. So I am a little shocked that nobody picked him up.
So here's what I think about Becton. This is going to go real quick because I don't want to talk about guys that we don't have, especially guys I don't like. And as we approach our draft, I think that Becton made this whole issue with the Jets of, I can only play left tackle. You guys got me hurt by making me play right tackle. And now he's going to go to other teams and say, hey, oh yeah, I can play right tackle. I could be a swing guy for you. And they're like, well, you complained about the whole coaching staff. You made a whole big deal about it because they wouldn't let you play left tackle. And now we're supposed to bring you in and just everything's going to be kumbaya and you'll play, hey, I'll play left guard if you need me to, all that. Like, no, dude, you're a locker room cancer if you're demanding I have to play this position. I'm not for that at all. And I think that's why the market hasn't spoken up on a guy that led the league in sacks given up last year.
I mean, I agree. There's no, the whole time I said the only people you needed to keep on that offensive line are AVT and Joe Tippmann. So
yeah, I don't get it either. It makes him look like, a poor sport. And like, why did the Jets put all that effort into trying to appease him throughout the time he was here? If he's just going to do that as soon as he walks away, he can kick rocks.
Absolutely. All right, let's get to our draft. I'm looking for current draft music. I can't find anything, so we're just we'll come up with a drop. I hear some noise playing. I don't know.
I might have something.
I don't know. It sounds like someone's stomach is
I mean, I have like an award show. I have a news. So like the news thing is like this.
All right,
here comes our draft. First round, New York Jets.
We'll come up with some drop of something exciting.
We'll come up with something.
Tonight's draft, brought to you by Manscaped. Don't forget to go to manscaped.com. Use that promo code DFSD for 20% off and free shipping. It's the perfect draft gift for your friends that need gifts around draft time, because you know they're going to be depressed after the selections their team makes. We all know the Jets are going to do something that's going to hurt our souls. So you go get your friends a gift now. Go to manscaped.com, promo code DFSD. You're going to get 20% off and free shipping. I can't think of a better way to do that. Tonight's draft, like we mentioned, it's going to be first round selections. All-time New York Jets players drafted in the first round. I have the first pick, and I took no time debating this. My first overall pick is a Hall of Famer, and he's
real quick. Wait. I just want to say, I want the people down below to comment about these drafts. We want you guys to go down and tell us who you think won, tell us who you think you would have drafted, and also we have a Twitter handle at Jets Uncovered, so you can go there also and give us your opinions on our draft, or give us your opinions on who you would draft. But go ahead, let's start this out. Abe, first pick.
It's real easy. It's the GOAT himself, no one other than my guy, the 2-4, Darrelle Revis, the undoubted best corner in NFL history. I love Darrelle Revis. I know Mike's going in a different direction, and I understand it, and I'm cool with it. To me, Darrelle Revis.
That was going to be my pick.
Okay, good.
It was mine too.
Good. It's too easy of a pick. NFL Hall of Famer, dude's the best corner that we've ever seen in our lifetimes, possibly the best corner that's ever played in the NFL. To me, it wasn't even a debate that Darrelle Revis is going to be that pick.
Yeah, same here. I was going to pick him also. Yeah, it was. I honestly thought you guys were both going to go. Well, at least I thought Abe would at least go maybe quarterback first, and so I would have been able to nail Darrelle Revis and know that my quarterback would be there when it got back to me. So you did the right thing there.
Just remember, you can take whatever positions you want. There's no, I got a quarterback, can't take another one. I got a defensive player, can't go defense later. Yeah, you want 4 quarterbacks. I don't know in this draft why somebody would do that with our history as New York Jets fans, but hey, go take 4 quarterbacks if you'd like. So Mike, you are on the clock now with the second overall pick.
All right. Dude, this is a tough one. Revis was my obvious number 1. It's like, that's really hard because there's also a lot of players that I'd love to draft, but they weren't Jets first rounders. So I want to make that clear. There's obviously some people here, but you know what? You got to go with the big name. You got to go with the Hall of Famer. So even though it's a little dicey, and I'll talk to you guys about this in a second, I'm going to just go with Broadway Joe Namath. So I'll take Joe Namath at his best. He's a great quarterback with a great delivery, and he's amazing. When you watch him at the peak of his game, Joe Namath is one of the best throwers that you'll ever see. So and he has the brand. So just like Revis Island, Darrelle Revis, I got to go with Broadway Joe.
He was on my list. He was number 2 on my list. So.
Yeah, I didn't even have Joe on my list because I figured one of you two was going to pick Joe before me, and I knew it was a waste of time.
That's fair. That's fair. Tommy.
Another thing is that, well, I was going to say with Joe Namath, I didn't even know if I could technically draft him because in the AFL they didn't actually, the way it didn't draft the same, so he didn't have it did not until they merged with the NFL did they actually have official draft picks. But I mean, Joe Namath was clearly, their first round draft pick.
Judge's ruling says it's okay. We'll allow it. We'll allow it. Tommy, who are you taking with the 3rd overall pick?
So third overall, this is kind of a sentimental pick. He wasn't the best Jet, but he's somebody who really, growing up, I watched him play a lot. And he actually got me to play the position growing up in high school and in college, and that's Sean Ellis for the defensive end. I grew up watching him, loved him. I loved the way he played defense. He set me up and made it so that I wanted to play the position like him, and I ended up doing so in high school and a little bit in college too. So I just love the way he was consistent, always a great guy, great Jet overall. didn't live up to the hype of first round you want to see with Pro Bowls and Hall of Fame status and all pros and things like that. But hey, man, I just loved the guy. I loved the way his game was, and I tried to mold myself after that. So that's the sentimental pick for me.
So Shaun Ellis was absolutely 100% on my list. No question about it. I had Shaun Ellis on my list a little bit lower. I'm on the clock with the 4, and I just want to put this out there. This pick is on the trade block. So if either of you guys are interested in this trade, in this pick right here, there might be some maneuvering that can be done.
I'm trying to see. I think, I'll be honest, I'm getting the person I want. You're not going to pick the person that I'm going to pick. I guarantee it.
Jamal Adams? Are you sure?
I'm
Zach Wilson? Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh, please don't tell me Zach Wilson's on anyone's list.
He's now, but that's a great topic.
Oh, come on.
That's a great draft that we could do of worst first round picks. That might take longer than 15 rounds.
But Zach Wilson's got to be the number 1 pick. I mean, there's nobody I could think of who was a bigger bust for the New York Jets in the first round than Zach Wilson.
I mean, Vernon Golston comes to mind. Dwayne Robertson. Golston was the worst.
None of them have the
capital. I'm with you.
Yeah, I think it's between
quarterbacks have so much more on their shoulders and things like that.
I think it's a topic we can certainly do. But right now we're thinking about the good, and nobody is better at their position than Nick Mangold was. Mangold, just an absolute behemoth of a human being, behemoth of just a lineman. And who doesn't love Nick Mangold? So Nick Mangold is my pick in the second round.
That's an awesome pick. He was on my list. He was there. He wasn't my pick. My next pick, I knew you wouldn't take him. But yeah, no, he's outstanding. He's like an all-time Jet. Like everybody loves Nick Mangold.
Oh yeah.
Okay, my number 2 pick. I grew up with him. He had Pro Bowl years with the New York Jets. If I have Namath, I have throwing to him. Wow. It's going to be an amazing on the field product. So I'm going to go. He was drafted in 1985, number 88, 10th overall. Al Toon is going to be my number 2 pick.
I had Al Toon on my list. I took him off because I never saw him play. So he was removed, but I respect the pick.
Yeah. I also had Al Toon on my list.
Sitting here going, yeah, I was sitting here going, do I take Al Toon or do I take Keyshawn Johnson? And the reason I went with Al Toon is he had more years with the Jets, more great years with the Jets, because Keyshawn left as fast as his little legs could carry him off to Tampa Bay. Yeah, he was a number 1 overall pick. He was outstanding with Vinny. But yeah, I got to go with Al Toon. He's a more he's like Mangold and these guys who are just, they're Jets. They will always be Jets. So
Mike couldn't have a draft without bringing up Vinny. He just couldn't do it.
No, I would take Vinny over everybody that we're talking about here. So
well aware. Well, I think what's next week, quarterbacks, and Mike has the first overall pick. I wonder where that's going.
All right, so now I know who I'm picking number 2 now because I love Vinny too.
Alert, yes.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy, you're on the clock with the 6th pick.
But it's, you know what? It's cool because hold on. It's cool because with Vinny, this is gonna be like the first, this is gonna be the first time he's ever picked number 1 in an NFL related anything. Is going to be me next week picking him number 1 for the best quarterback in Jets history.
Right, because he wasn't drafted first overall by the Buccaneers in like 1971, whenever they started.
So the funny thing is, I was talking to Abe about.
I don't think he was. Was he the number 1?
Yeah, he was the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
Still, they regretted that.
And you won't.
I'm not going to regret mine.
Yeah. It's funny. I was talking to Abe about this on the phone about the quarterback about next week. I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to get Vinny. And he's like, no, Mike loves Vinny. I think you're probably going to get Namath from that. And I was like, oh, shit. Like the one time I thought I would get Vinny somewhere. I'm the same way. Love the guy. Always loved Vinny. For the sixth pick though, I went to a running back. And this is old before my time, but I used to grow up watching him a lot on NFL films, and that's John Riggins. John Riggins was a powerhouse of a running back. You know, he won some titles with the Washington Redskins at the time, and was just a monster, man. I loved his running style, and it's hard to find guys like that. You don't see too many guys like that now. And I just really love John Riggins. I don't know if he was on any of your guys' lists, but hey, he's one of my favorite Jets all time, even though he played better with Washington.
I did not have
that's
him.
Why that's actually why I didn't put him. I was going to put him in, but I didn't because he spent more time with the Redskins and things like that, but he's well worth the pick, Hall of Famer and everything. So
yeah, I did not have him on my list. My list is actually going like really well because now with my third pick, I have my number 4 overall player on my board still available to me with the 7th pick. And that guy came into the league with Nick Mangold, and that's D'Brickashaw Ferguson, another lifelong set it and forget it Jet at the left tackle position. That we have all these issues at left tackle now, and all we talk about is, man, what a great time when we had D'Brickashaw Ferguson, the brick wall up there at left tackle. So Brick in the 3rd round to me might be the absolute steal of this draft.
It's a great pick. And actually, real quick, I do want to show you. I lied. John Riggins was on my list, so just wanted to let you know that. But yeah, D'Brickashaw Ferguson, man, we were during the times that we had him, and some of those guys like Mangold, D'Brickashaw, like these are guys like you don't. I mean, you do realize how good they are when you have them, but when you don't have them anymore, you're just like, God, they were so just. You could count on them.
All right, Mike, who are you picking with your 2nd round pick here?
Third round pick.
3rd round pick. Yes, I'm sorry. 3rd round pick. You currently you have Joe Namath and Al Toon.
I said I wasn't going to do this because a lot of these guys are so new that it's hard to put them up with the greats, but I don't think I'm taking much of a chance on this one. So he went number 4 in the 2022 draft. I'm going Sauce Gardner.
Sauce is 100% on my list. And there's no reason why he's not. The dude, like I talked about Revis before, being just an absolute stud, like the best ever. Sauce is well on his way to getting into that conversation as well.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Gardner. He's proven he's a stud, back-to-back all pros. He's probably going to have himself a Hall of Fame career.
Yep. All right, Tommy, finish out the 3rd round for us.
So 3rd round, I'm also going cornerback. A couple decades behind Sauce, about 2-ish, a little less than 2-ish. I'm going with Aaron Glenn. It's another sentimental piece for me. I know I'm getting real sentimental here. But I loved Aaron Glenn, loved the way he played the positions with all those guys, man. That whole team, you know, between from the defense up, you got Marvin Jones at linebacker too. You had all these guys, and I just loved Aaron Glenn, and now he's doing a great job, you know, with Detroit. But man, it's just another guy. A lot of other general NFL fans might not know him outside of Detroit. But growing up, I have like 150 Aaron Glenn cards just scattered out all over the place. One of my favorite all-time Jets.
Dude, I love the combo of Aaron Glenn and Ray Mickens back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
That was it back then. So we're in our final round now, and I'm not going to lie. I still have 9 guys on my list. And I can bring it up because – you know, you guys can't take any more of my picks. I'm at the last one. So I'll mention some of the guys that I have here. Quinnen Williams is on that list, similar to Sauce. Right. And then I have some of my old school guys, Mike, like you mentioned, Keyshawn, my favorite quarterback, Chad Pennington. But I'm going to take my guy that got us to 2 AFC title games, and I'm going with Mark Sanchez. I know his career wasn't great. I get it. But he is the last quarterback that has won us a playoff game. As ridiculous as that sounds, it's also 100% factual. So Mark Sanchez is going to be my last pick here.
That blows my mind. I never would have. He's not even close to on my list. I honestly thought that one of you guys was taking Chad Pennington. I'm shocked that he hasn't come up yet. Maybe if we drafted 5, he would have come up. But that's shocking to me. I'll be honest.
It was a toss up between Sanchez and Chad, and what it came down to was playoff victories, and Mark has more of them. So, it's a fact.
Hey, I can't hate on that. I picked Sean Ellis. Yeah.
All right, Mike, after ridiculing me on my pick.
All right, I guess it's on me now.
Yeah, where are you going?
All right. This is a tough one because honestly, I'm going to I look, okay, I'll tell you this. I had Garrett Wilson on my list along with Sauce and along with Quinnen Williams. Those were the 3 newbies that I had on my list. But I'm not going to go newbie again. You know, the other guys have more to prove. I mean, Sauce has had 2 amazing seasons. I mean, so is Garrett, but I'm going to go back to my childhood again. And he was outstanding. He's completely underrated, and it's just got to be what it's got to be. And Joe Namath needs a backup. He has bad knees. 1983, drafted 24th overall from Cal Davis, Kenny O'Brien.
I was expecting him to go to you. Honest to God, I expected him to be your pick.
There it is.
I don't hate that. I feel like Ken O'Brien didn't get enough love. He had to compete with guys like Marino and stuff. It's just hard, you know, but he was such an underrated guy.
Yep. Tommy, finish this draft out and then we'll get to some honorable mentions.
So mine is a wide receiver. He also split half his time with the New York Jets and the Washington Redskins, and that is Santana Moss. I loved him. I was heartbroken when he went to the Washington Redskins. It literally broke my heart. Him and Lavernius Coles, both of those guys going to Washington, just absolutely tore me to pieces. I loved Santana. I thought he was a gamer, you know, from return man to just wide receiver. He was just great. I loved the swagger that he came with on every game, and I got to close out with him. He was my favorite wide receiver to watch growing up. I'm going Santana.
So to close it out, our draft is for myself. I have Darrelle Revis, Nick Mangold, DeBrickashaw Ferguson, and Mark Sanchez. Mike has Joe Namath, Al Toon, Sauce Gardner, Ken O'Brien. Tommy has Sean Ellis, John Riggins, Aaron Glenn, and Santana Moss. Any honorable mentions you guys want to talk about?
Pennington. Pennington would be an honorable mention. I feel like I'm kind of surprised he didn't go. And then I really wanted to put, this is going to hurt some guys, you know, I really wanted to put John Abraham, but man,
he's on my list.
He could have been amazing if whatever happened, you know, when he went to Atlanta. That sucks to see how well he performed in Atlanta, but I love John Abraham too growing up.
Mike, anybody that stuck out to you that's still on your list that you wanted to draft?
I actually had a few people on my list. Now you guys did take a bunch, but I had, like I said, Quinnen Williams and Garrett Wilson of the younger age. You heard me earlier talk about Ken O'Brien, or I'm sorry, Keyshawn Johnson. He was on my list. And then I also had a bunch of fullbacks and running backs. I had John Riggins, like he said, but I could have easily drafted Freeman McNeil or Matt Snell. Who, you know, once again, he was one of those AFL guys where, you know, it wasn't an actual NFL draft. And then Marty Lyons also, Sack Exchange.
I had Marty Lyons too.
The only guy that's on my list that hasn't been mentioned yet is Muhammad Wilkerson. And he was great with the Jets for a short period of time. But when he re-signed, when he got that new contract, I think he was like the first Jet to get a second contract in forever type of deal. So I wanted to show him a little respect over there as well. Any closing thoughts as we finish out tonight's show, guys?
I wish the Jets would stop.
What I would like to, what I'd like to say real quick is, we throughout this whole YouTube thing, if you're watching on YouTube, we did have a little bit of a glitch here and there. I don't know whose internet that is, and it could be mine because I didn't restart my computer. But next week, hopefully that will all be fixed. But I really want, if you've watched, hit the like button. subscribe to the Undroppables, and of course follow us at Jets Uncovered on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And that's it. I mean, I had a great time with this draft, and I can't wait to do the next few ones. That was fun.
Oh, it's gonna be. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped for it. Mike, I can't close it out any better than that. Thanks everyone for listening, watching. Abe, Mike, and Tommy. Till next time. See you.